Hi guys, how you doing? This is Ben, the Real Estate Pro, coming at you. Hopefully, going to kick you some knowledge. So, I am at a website called Facts.Realtor. I caught wind of this during a podcast that Real Estate Insiders Unfiltered did. The hosts, James Dwiggins and Keith Robinson, had Leslie McCow, which I probably butchered that name, but she's the general counsel for NAR. Very articulate person, very smart, a lot of great information. I think you should go ahead and watch that podcast. It should be required reading, honestly. They should have a class in it because it really tells you the do's and don'ts, what to do, what not to do when it comes to the new rules. All right. Now, this particular uh, document here is downloadable into a PDF. So you can download it, send it to your clients, and you can literally working off the exact same page with your clients. And they can reference this information here in case they have any questions um, and want to do maybe a little bit more research about the new rules because that's what this document is for. So let's just go ahead and read. So it says, home sellers, here's what the NAR settlement means for you. As a home seller, you have a wide range of choices when it comes to listing your home. Agents who are realtors or other real estate professionals are a trusted source of advice and stand ready to help you navigate this complex process and make the choices that work best for you. NAR's recent settlement has led to several changes related to broker commissions that benefit sellers, and we want to clearly lay them out for you. Here is what the settlement means for home sellers. You still have the choice of offering compensation to buyer brokers. You may consider doing this as a way of marketing your home or making your listing more attractive to buyers. And in certain markets, that is true. Of course, in certain markets, in my opinion, that may not be true. Your agent must conspicuously disclose to you and obtain your approval for any payment or offer of payment that a listing broker will make to another broker acting for buyers. Now, it used to be when you went to an agent to list your home for sale, you negotiated a commission, typically 5 or 6%, and that agent would disclose to you that, hey, if a capable buyer, a buyer's agent brings me a buyer and we enter into contract and you accept their offer, I'm going to split that commission with that agent. And it was somewhat unilateral, meaning that they didn't have to get your permission to do that. They basically said, hey, this is how much your commission is, my commission, this is what I charge, and I might split that with someone else. Well, now before they pay any amount of payment to another broker, they have to disclose it to you. Okay. This disclosure must be made to you in writing in advance of any payment or agreement to pay another broker acting for buyers and must specify the amount or rate of such payment. If you choose to approve an offer of compensation, there are changes to how this can happen. You as a seller can still make an offer of compensation, but your agent cannot include it on a multiple listing service. MLSs are local marketplaces used by both buyers and listing brokers are buyer brokers and listing brokers to share information about property sales. Your agent can advertise your listing via off MLS platforms such as social media, flyers, and websites. You as a seller can still offer buyer's concessions on MLS, for example, concessions for buyer's closing costs. Now, one other thing that I will say as far as agents advertising compensation off of MLS, maybe like on social media, flyers, or websites. Now, social media, you got to be a little bit careful as an agent, simply because you can't be part of like let's say a Facebook page or a group that lists compensation to other agents or aggregates that information to other agents that can be shared by other agents that don't have that listing. Okay, you can advertise your listing, let's say to via email to another agent, but you can't have that agent advertise that information to other agents because it's not their listing. Okay, you can't aggregate that information into a platform that's going to send it out there. Okay, there was an example that was given out during the podcast. Is, let's say that I emailed compensation that my seller was willing to give out to a buyer's agent out to my list of real estate agents that are out there. Well, that you can do. Okay, if they're on your list and you have their email, you can go ahead and send it out. But the minute that one of those agents that doesn't own that listing, that doesn't have a list that listing, the minute that they send it out to their list, now you might be in trouble. Okay, so it really isn't something, in my opinion, that you should do. Now, you can certainly put it out on social media to advertise to buyers. You can certainly put it on flyers, and you can create a website on your listing that advertises that there's some buyer's broker comp or some cooperative compensation that's offered. You can do that. It just can't be aggregated out like on an MLS or some type of social media that's going to be, shared and shared and shared out there. Okay, so just something that you don't want to do. Um, Now the settlement practices went into effect August 17th. Here's what the settlement doesn't change. Agents who are realtors are here to help you navigate the process of selling your home and are ethically obligated to work in your best interest. Compensation for your agent remains fully negotiable, and if your agent is a realtor, they must abide by the Realtor Code of Ethics and have clear and transparent discussions with you about compensation. And even if you're not a realtor, you still should practice that. When finding an agent to work with, ask questions about compensation and discuss what you would like to offer buyers, if anything. Um, you have choices. Work with your agent to understand the full range of these choices when selling your home, which will help you make the best possible decisions for your needs. Now, and then you can go to facts.realtor and get more information. Now, me personally, there are some things here that I personally do, well, how I advise my clients, my sellers, when it comes to cooperative compensation. The one big thing is that there's something that a seller has to understand is a buyer's agent and a buyer are going to be going into an agreement as far as what compensation is going to be rendered even before they look at one property, before one door is opened. So that number is going to be established. Okay. Now, something that that number is going to be known to them, and they typically are going to, when they make an offer, they're typically going to go to ask for that amount to be paid by the seller to the buyer or to the buyer in order to cover the buyer's obligation to pay their agent. So me as a seller, as a selling agent, I advise my clients to be open to going ahead and taking offers that are requesting the seller pay the buyer's agent, and that it's likely that they will get an offer that way. But I also tell them not to disclose exactly how much that amount is. And the reason why is it's kind of like giving away money in a way. Now, there are certain times and certain types of markets where you would want to do that. I can see that. But then there are certain times where you don't have to do that. It just depends on what the market is. So to just blanket put out a a offer for cooperative compensation, I don't think is very smart in most cases, especially the way the market is now. I would just simply tell any type of buyers or buyer's agents that contact me that my client is willing to look at all offers and willing to look at all requests for cooperative compensation to be paid to the buyer's agent. So, guys, I think there's a lot of good information here. Definitely check it out. Go to this website. Be sure to have your clients come to this website as well, and get the information that they need. And hopefully you learned something today. Hopefully you got something out of this. This has been the Real Estate Pro. We'll talk to you next time.